Hey guys, this is again the video show Web Dev Business about the business of web development, and I'm still your host, Pavel Askarov. First, I want to encourage you to follow me on Twitter, where I share a lot of links about web development business at Web Dev Business. That's the Twitter handle, so follow me there. And I share a lot of tips there, like 5 or 10 per day articles. And topic of today's today's episode is the budget of the client. So for example, you have an inquiry, you have a quote, not the quote, you have the new project coming up, or you find the ad somewhere on Upwork or wherever, and it says the budget, like the budget is, for example, $1,000 or $10,000, like whatever, it's the number, right? And you tend to think as agency owner or a freelancer that budget is final, that budget is not movable and not negotiable, and it's not flexible, which is not true. Generally, the budget, the number tend to be that number because of the reasons why. So for example, compare that to us going to the shop and buying something. So for example, if we want to buy a new phone, smartphone, and we don't have a clue about the difference between, for example, iPhone and Samsung and HTC and LG models, and what's the difference, or what is the difference between the newest generation phones and like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and we're not professionals on the market, and we can pay for the smartphone like from $100, I guess, to like 1,000. Well, not 1,000, like 800 to 900 was the newest models. So yeah, the price range is pretty big, and we tend to go to the shop with our budget, like for example, of $300, $400. But if the consultant there convinces us that this model is better, faster, newer, shiny, whatever is the reason, we can spend more. We do have the budget. If we're looking for a new phone, it's not a big deal to spend extra $100 or $200 if we have them. So yeah, same with projects. Clients tend to start with one budget, but if you convince them, and if you teach them, and if you educate them what is the real value of the project and what is the real possible budget, it can be flexible. In my experience, it tends to happen quite a lot that clients come with one budget, and then we agree on a bigger budget with bigger expectations, of course. So the first thing you need to do when you find out the budget is if you start a conversation with a client, of course, you need to start a conversation anyway, like negotiation part and stuff like that. So you need to communicate your value, not only your value but the business value for client. So for example, if they want to start a blog or create a new project, you have to convince them that your work, the result of your work, will bring them more money than they invest. And you have to position that as investment, not the budget, not the price for the project, but the investment in order to bring them more money. So for example, if they spend $1,000 on your on the website that you would build, and then you launch, for example, AdWords campaign or Facebook campaign, and you will share with this client the numbers from like previous projects or any social proof or proof from the internet that this model works and it will bring them more money, then they will be willing to spend more money on the project. There are other ways to communicate the value. It can be more reliable in terms of reliable, maintainable in the future, flexible in terms of new functions, and a lot of things which clients don't think about actually. So this is what I have listed here. So why clients don't understand the value, don't understand the price properly, and what are the reasons and how you should communicate. So number one is they have low quality expectations and they have low knowledge about the quality on the market. So they've heard that the website can be done for $100 just by installing WordPress template, and it can be done by guys from like India for $100. And it is possible. I'm not lying. It is possible to have a website built for $100, but then the quality usually suffers. And if the client educated like that comes to the market and they expect everything to be $100, doesn't matter what's the project. It's just like, come on, it's a web project. How hard can it be? And if you educate the client how much actually work should be done for quality to be achieved, like preparation, analysis, ensuring that everything works, deployment, and a lot of those processes behind the scene, then they go, oh, right, okay, so $100 is like minimum for the cheapest one, like cheapest smartphone, but then you can go broader, go deeper, and go for more quality, and it costs more. Okay, so that's number one. They have low quality expectations because of the past experience, or they've heard something somewhere. Number two is they think it's just the coding part or designing part. Like they see a website as a thing as a result of your coding, whereas actually there's a lot of things happening behind the scenes again. First, you have to analyze the project. It takes your time. Don't lie to yourself. It's billable hours. It's billable time. And you usually, especially if it's a bigger project, where you have a lot of questions, discussions, you have to prepare some spec or any kind of document, you spend a full day or even a couple of days on just making the plan, just preparing the task list or whatever form you have. And that's really needed, that's really required for especially bigger projects to be successful. Otherwise, if you don't spend that time, then things go really wrong and really fast, and it's usually too late to get back to planning after that. So things like planning, then things like testing the website in all the browsers, all the devices, on different servers, different environments like staging, dev environment, then production, then ensuring all the like migrations database. You have to have some testing data for testing. A lot of those things, which actually the result of that is maintenance. It's reliability and maintenance of the project. So you can be sure that everything is done properly, have all the backups set up, and server stuff. So yeah, a lot of things like the whole deployment stuff. Clients tend to think it's like one button, click of one magic button, then the project goes live. It's not the case usually. Well, it can be pretty easy if you have prepared all of those things. But the same domain management and things like Google Analytics set up, a lot of small things tend to happen during deployment. And that's not the code, that's not the result, not the code and the design process. So there are a lot of additional work to be done after coding or before coding. And then the clients, if they understand that part, that the project is not only the code, they tend to value it more. And then the third thing, which happened to me like yesterday, discussing the project with one client. Some clients don't have a clue what the budget should be. They just throw a number out of the blue. They just think that it's $1,000 or $5,000. They have no experience in web projects whatsoever. They are like business people. They don't have a clue about how stuff works. So in that case, you can, if you deliver the value, if you explain the value, the budget can be 2x, 3x easily because they have the money, but they thought it is cheaper, and then they go, oh, okay, yeah, that's fine. We're totally fine if you if you promise to deliver, if you have like guarantees or whatever you have it, like social proof, then the budget just easily goes double or triple. And that's fine. And actually, the best clients, in my experience, are those guys, the business guys, not the web guys, not the developer guys. So whenever I worked for other agencies, as a subcontractor or whatever you call it, people tend to require more technical stuff and go too deep into that technical stuff, whereas in fact it's your expertise, it's your area. So with business guys who have no clue about the technical stuff, it's easier to communicate the value. It's easier to have to be on one page essentially, and you deliver the business value for them, and whatever is in the code, you take care of it. They don't care about that. They don't micromanage. They just see the result of that is clickable, visible. The website is up and running, and they're happy. So yeah, tend to try to go for those business type of clients as much as possible. And final thought, if after all those reasons and all of that explaining of the value, clients still don't understand and don't agree with your price, with your budget, and they are not flexible, then run from that client. I mean, the clients should respect your time, should evaluate your time, and if they don't, then they're just not a good fit. They will find developers cheaper and with lower quality, and it happened to me several times that the clients did go away, and then they came back, and then they agree with my price because they went cheaper. Then they were disappointed by the quality, and then they understood how things work, and then they come to me with bigger budget. So that tends to happen. So that's the topic of the day, is that the budget of the client is always flexible. You just need to position yourself properly and educate the value that you're bringing. And you have to bring the value, of course. That's the first thing. And as usually, we have a tip of the day at the end of each episode of Web Dev Business. So tip of today is invest in your internal tools. And that's actually related to the budget. For example, if you have a project with a fixed budget, like again, $1,000, $10,000, whatever the number is, and if you have an internal tool which allows you to build something faster, then it's your win. The client might not even know it, that you've generated some part of the code which allows you to deliver faster. So in our case, within my team, we have a Laravel package called Quick Admin, which allows us to generate some parts of the code for a new project. We're working with CRM and data management and admin panel-like projects, and we tend to use Quick Admin to generate the first main part of the project, which saves us like a couple of days at least for each project. We've built it internally after suffering and after creating same things each time. Then we decided to build the stuff which now saves us a lot of time. So tip of the day, invest in tools which can save you time and essentially money. Yeah. That's it for this episode of Web Dev Business. Again, follow on Twitter at Web Dev Business, and see you again in the next episode.